Hi, everyone. Welcome. Hello, hello. Okay. Oh, I'm so happy so many of you are here. Everyone is still loading. All right. Hi, everyone. I'm thrilled to see your faces. I know pretty much none of you, or actually none of you. Oh, I think I remember Robin. Robin, I think we've met once before. Hi, Robin. Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm going to get right into this. This is a half hour, so we know you guys are very, very busy. School year still sort of starting out, so feel like, you probably got a lot to do. So this is being recorded, so if that makes you uncomfortable, please feel free to do what you need to do to be comfortable, and but we'd love to see your faces if you're okay being on camera. We will send this recording to you after, along with the slides that I will present today. My name is Katie Maloney. I am the administrative specialist and the UHLI, which I will give you the full meaning of that acronym, internship program coordinator for the Hanley Center. So if you received an email from me directly, because I did cold email some people, so some of you reached out back to me, so that was me. And I'm really excited you're here. This is my first full complete year coordinating the program. I have been with Hanley for just about a year now. And last year I kind of saw the majority of it, but now I get to see it from complete start to the end. So that being said, I do have two colleagues with me today. I have our executive director, Judy Ann Smith. She's in my top right corner. Oh yes, and thank you, Janelle, for that. And Janelle Lewis, who just chimed in to the chat. She is our director of leadership development and waving over there with the very nice office background. So hi, Janelle. If you could put in the chat your name, your title, and the university, that would be super helpful for us. So thank you if you're already doing that. We would love to see where you guys are coming from and to be able to know who you are if we're going to continue speaking with you, which hopefully we do. So let me get started here. Got lots of chats coming in. Wow. Okay, as I'm going to hit share screen, I'm seeing all the colleges come in. So we've got University of Maine, Cornell. We've got Yale. Fantastic. I'm so happy you guys are here. Okay. Let me start from the beginning. So again, welcome. I'm Katie. This is all about our undergraduate health leadership internship. So I will say UHLI from here on out because every time that I say the full title, I feel like it takes a bit. So when you hear UHLI, we are addressing that. That's the name of the thing of our program here. So that being said, these are the picture up top here is our group from last summer. That was at their leadership day, which we can tell you briefly a little bit more about. Very quickly, so at the Hanley Center, we are very, very small nonprofit. There are 4 of us on our team. So Maggie, who is our director of finance, she's not here today, but Janelle and Judy Ann are here. So our mission, what we do at the Hanley Center is we work with people in health and healthcare, and that's all different types of roles. So we just want to be able to inspire and grow collaborative leaders to solve today's health challenges, as you can see. So that, and then our values, so collaboration, courage, inclusion, innovation, hard work, and kindness. We do embed that into our internship program as well. And so what we do at the Hanley Center is, then along with our internship program, we have leadership courses for those in health and healthcare. So I don't know if we, actually, I wish I found this out beforehand, if we have had an intern yet who was an intern in the past. Our program started in 2012. I don't know if they've gone through our courses yet, but I'm hoping eventually that happens. That would be really interesting to see. But what we have done, so here's a little bit about UHLI specifically. As you can see some numbers down here, we're kind of estimating here, as you can see with the plus sign, we've been holding this internship program since 2012. And so we tried to estimate based off the average amount of interns and host sites that we've had in a year. So like 300-ish or so interns placed across the state. And then we've had roughly 40 or so organizations who have hosted our interns. And the impact that that is making for organizations as well as students is obviously incredibly vast and impactful. We aim to recruit, I would like to point this out, and I've had a couple of you reach out specifically to me about this. So we aim to recruit Maine connected undergrads who are interested in healthcare. And when we say Maine connected, that does not mean that they only have to be a resident. So this can be anyone who has maybe fond memories of vacations that they did a lot, coming here. They may have extended family. They may have lived here once and then moved, and then they want to move back, and they hope to do that after their graduation. It can be all types of different scenarios. What we're really hoping to do is to be able to show them that there are lots of opportunities here career-wise in the health and healthcare fields. And again, that's not just clinically based. That can be anything from HR to marketing and so on. And we want to be able to show them those opportunities, and hopefully in some ways directly and indirectly address the workforce shortage that we are, I think, all experiencing in some way, shape, or form. So with these undergraduate internships, they form a bond, and we really actually got to see that this year too at our leadership day in July that they do. They get together in person and they connect, and it's really a good way for young people to start networking at an early point in their undergraduate career, and they start seeing the benefits of that. So we kind of keep them connected throughout. We started a Canva discussion board, so we aim to keep them connected and to really enforce and tell them the importance of networking and relationship building and what that can do for their future careers. So how they apply. So these are the very basics of our program. We are giving you a very quick rundown today. If at any point you have questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. We can always address them. Seth and Kate, who I will introduce very shortly, but most of you probably know, we'll talk very soon, and then we can always follow up via email with questions too. So looking at the application process, it is online, but right now you will not see an apply button for interns. You will see it for host sites. So right now, our organizations that want to have an intern this coming summer in 2024 are applying, and we've had, I think, maybe 3 to 5 already positions that have been submitted, which is an excellent sign. So I'm really hoping that we get even more than we did last year. I think we had 21 positions last year. So what they'll do is they'll go online. The entire application is there for the interns. You can go right up to the top. There's a little menu that says healthcare internships. If they go there, then they'll go over on the right. I photoshopped this a little bit here, but it'll say apply, and it'll ask them if they're interested in becoming an intern. So right now, that right-hand sidebar does promote it has the button for host sites to send in their information. So come January 3rd, that will change, and that will be available for interns to go on and apply. The interns can still go on the website and check out about the program. They can see, as you can see over here on the left, we have previous positions listed. Those are obviously closed, but that gives them an idea of what was there last year. So they can certainly start browsing the site and get an idea of what to do. It's just their application is not open yet, and it will be January 3rd. What they will need to apply. So the whole application, it'll be an electronic form. It'll tell them step by step, very straightforward. Insert this here, and so on. So they will need to attach a resume, a cover letter for each position applied to. Unofficial transcripts, they don't need to send us official ones, sealed. Unofficial is fine. Letter of recommendation, and there is a separate form for whoever they choose to do that recommendation that person will fill out. It's pretty brief. It's just the basic information, and then they can either type their recommendation letter in there, or they can attach it, and that's pretty much it. If a student does need accommodations to apply, please reach out to me and let me know. We are happy to work with you, so that way everyone has access to that application. These are also on our website, but just to have them here, these dates are the dates that we kind of work off of. So they may change a little bit once we make it past the internship applications being due. Last year, we had a lot of host sites who were a little late despite our best efforts, and they just added a couple of positions in, which was fantastic. But because of that, things got pushed and then more interns applied. And so we just adapt as it happens, but it's pretty close to this timeline. So January 3rd, again, that's when the intern application will open. They'll go online and see it, and that should be right there in that blue bar that I pointed out earlier. January 10th, I will be sending this link to all of you. There will be a student virtual information session night. So similar to what we're doing for you guys now, but for the students' perspective, and we'll give them all a rundown of that. So if they're not comfortable doing the application till then and they have questions, they can certainly wait. That's totally fine. That's up to them. If they want to just come after they submitted it, that's okay too. And it's just either way, it's going to be great for them. They can come and they can make their decision on how to do that and what they want to do. February 16th is the date for applications being due. If things do change with that, I will be heavily communicating that with the people who have applied, with the students who are interested, and then with anyone, any of you all as well, if things are fluid and changing. March to April, around that time frame, is when the positions are finalized. May 10th will be the final, like that is for sure. That'll be when everything is set in stone. We will be telling the people, the students who are placed, where they're placed and what positions they were placed in. In May, we will have a virtual orientation. That is to be determined. I will communicate that as soon as we know more. July, I did mention this. I just realized I left out, that should, my apologies, that should not say virtual orientation. So I will fix that before I send it out to you all. So that way you have the correct verbiage there. That should be our Midsummer Leadership Day. So as you can see in the bottom left, they are outside somewhere very nice. That is at the Schiller Coastal Schiller Center. I know I'm messing that up, Seth. I'm so sorry. I should know this, but it's my second year going into this. So the Coastal Center at Bowdoin, they get together and we meet up for the day and we do all types of leadership development things. They talk about their internship and so on. That is in July. So that'll be our leadership day, not our virtual orientation. So that is my mistake. And then August 1st, a potential intern poster session. I will communicate more on that when we know more. This is something that we have been wanting to implement for a little bit. So we're hoping to develop that and actually get that going this year. So again, that I will give you more information on as we know more. Now we have Seth Ramos, Director of Health Professions Advising from Bowdoin. And then we have Kate Ashton, Davis Connects Advisor for Health Professions at Kobe. They're going to talk to you a little bit about their advice and give you their perspective, excuse me. So Seth and Kate, you have the floor. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here. It's really exciting to see you all and so many friends. Kate and I have been a part of this program literally since the beginning. I think Kate was probably on board a year or two before I was in the very initial conversations about the creation of this internship program. But we have been around every year and watching it grow from literally the first year where we had 4 applicants for 3 internships and into where we are now, where we can have several hundred applications for as many as 40 internships. And we're really excited about this as people, and I'll speak for myself, not for Kate, who are aging in Maine. And we are one of the most medically underserved states, to have an opportunity to introduce students to the possibilities here. And really that's what this program is about. The Daniel Hanley Center, Daniel Hanley was actually a physician, Bowdoin's physician for many years, and really became a leader in our state in creating opportunities for other physicians and healthcare workers in this program built out of his legacy. And we've been really excited to bring it all the way down into the undergraduate realm. And I think it's really important to think about the institution and its mission, because this is really where we as advisors, and we have a whole cadre of main advisors who reviews the applications and makes recommendations for placements to the various sites, because we're looking for people who are interested in Maine and have, can demonstrate that somehow in their application. So it's not just an issue of connecting people to internships that they are qualified for, but also to find those people who are most likely to someday come back and take care of me in my old age.
Mhm.
And so when we're reading applications, and I want to sort of talk today about that perspective, what it means when we read the applications and what we're looking for, because we're really hoping that you guys will help your students to understand how they should be pitching to us. So somewhere in their application, they should really demonstrate that they have a connection to Maine or a rural state or something that would make them a compelling applicant for us. We get a lot of students that talk about leadership, and certainly leadership is part of Hanley's mission, but really think about what that this undergraduate program is about: creating a sort of a pipeline and a connection and a network of our students to the Maine healthcare workforce. And I can speak from experience that many of our earliest applicants are back in the state in healthcare and have used their Hanley connections as ways to get positions in clinicals settings, either during school or afterwards. Many of our applicants have used their connections to get postgraduate jobs in healthcare while they're waiting to matriculate into graduate school. So it's really a great opportunity for students to network within our state. You'll see that we have sites all over the state, and students should be thinking globally about our state. Much of Maine is very rural. I understand that many of our students will want to be in Portland because Portland is an exciting place. And some of our internships are there, but we'll see, sometimes there are 100 applications for each of the Portland sites, and there are one or two applications for that site up in Presque Isle in the very northernmost part of our state. So students should be thinking about this, and especially if they are less competitive for whatever reason, they might want to be thinking about some of the sites that are more rural. I will say to you that we have this incredible diversity of sites and incredible diversity of experiences. We all know that what our students really want to do is fiddle around on the insides of people, which of course they aren't licensed to do yet. And that is not the kinds of things that our healthcare system is offering them in internships. Many of these are within the HR department or working on a specific educational material or something like that. But the people who are directing these internships in the sites are people who have gone through the Hanley training and are a part of our network and are really dedicated. Like, these are people who have created paid internships. And so they are really dedicated to giving students the opportunities that they are interested in. So I always tell students, if you are that great intern, if you are there early, if you are doing your work, people will notice you and they know that you want to get an opportunity to talk to a PA or a physician. And if you're in the HR department of our largest private practice in the state, right? You're getting an incredible opportunity if you to see how our health system works. If you are in the Maine Medical Association in Augusta, right? You are seeing medically related legislation and lobbying. You're seeing how the sausage is made in our state, in meeting really important physicians and healthcare workers. And so there are really amazing opportunities here. And even if the internship itself doesn't sound like fiddling around on the insides of people, there are some really great opportunities here. And I know Kate has some lovely stories to tell from recent students. So I'll quickly turn over to her.
Sure, thanks, Seth. Yeah, one example that I wanted to share, one of our students this past summer was at Sweetser, a mental health association organization, and doing, I think, marketing. But she got the opportunity to go to the state convention on opioid addiction, got to meet our governor and have a conversation with her, and came back this fall to campus and is now working with our local homeless shelter and also with campus leaders to offer Narcan training sessions for people in both settings. So she had certainly, it wasn't exactly what she wants to end up doing, but it is definitely informing her path towards medical school at this point. I'll also add one piece of information that's important to keep in mind is that because we are offering paid internships, we do ask that students not ask for credit for these internships, but because they are being paid a wage for them. I think at this point, we'll open it up to questions. And Katie, if you want to move to the screen that has some of the locations listed, that would be great.
Yeah, thank you, Seth and Kate. Yeah, we are happy to take questions as those are coming in. Feel free to, if you're not comfortable speaking, please put them in the chat if you have them. I've told my colleagues I'm on one monitor, so they will yell at me if something comes up. I will stop. These are just some of these were the last year's opportunities, so these are on our website still, but many of these, I know we've already gotten roles from Sweetser for this coming summer, and I wouldn't be surprised if many of these other ones come back for this year. Yeah, and then these are actually on the left are,
Many of these sites have been involved in this for many years, actually. Some of these that have been consistently a part of it.
I see Erica has her hand raised. Go ahead, Erica.
Yeah, so my question is in regards to this connection to Maine, and it sounded a little loose. So I was just wondering, is there any sort of verification? Like if I'm working with a student and I tell them about this program and they sound really interested and, they say, well, Maine sounds cool. I would love to try it. I mean, how strong does that connection need to be?
I would hope that the student would be thoughtful about it. Showing is better than saying, right? We all know this. I would also encourage that student to think about some of the less competitive sites, that probably those students that at the sites that have 100 applications, we're going to be looking at a lot of students with very clear connections to the state and an interest in the state that is based in experiences that they can show us. Whereas, if they are looking at one of the more rural sites, then there may not be as strong an applicant pool, and we would be more likely to look at a student who had looser connections. I work at a college that draws nationally, and I can tell you that just going to Bowdoin is enough to get you looked at, but probably not enough to get you into one of the more competitive sites, just because we have students with really strong connections. but going to Bowdoin will get you looked at and talked about for one of the less competitive sites.
All right, thank you.
Seth, could you answer the question? Are these internships primarily for upper level students, or can students who are in their first year apply? I can't remember
Yeah,
exactly.
so again, our priority is to offer students with some experience, but not a lot of experience, an opportunity to make a connection. Meaning that again, those students that are most competitive tend to be applying for the summer after their junior or their sophomore year, but that on occasion we have given internships to first year students with something very compelling about their application or a connection to a site, or who have applied to one of the less competitive sites. We tried to focus on students who are undergraduate, but one of our most remarkable uh, interns was actually a student who applied for the summer after after he graduated from college and before he began his master's in public health, and he interned at the Hanley Center and was a phenomenal intern and is all over the state now in really remarkable positions. I just had a meeting with him and one of his colleagues the other day to talk about a public health program in collaboration with my students at the college. So he's a great example of somebody who was sort of an exception, and we had a really compelling reason to move forward with them. So I would never say that a student shouldn't apply. We also had the Chinese national student who began his cover letter with, although the internship is in Maine, which did not go over very well, obviously.
The next question was, would students need to find their own housing if they do not live near the site? And yes, they would. We know that our site coordinators are often very happy to be helpful whenever they can. But yes, students would need to have their own place to live and transportation to their sites.
And Kate, may I just add to that? We had a student last year who actually was a freshman, and he was one of those exceptions, and he struggled finding housing. And we were able to just kind of ask around, and USM, at least in this case, worked for us. We reached out to them, and I told the student that they will sometimes offer housing in the summer if they have it, and it worked out for him, and that's what he ended up doing. So sometimes there are, if a student is interested but they don't have housing, I would still encourage them, please apply. And then if you get selected, you never know what will happen. In some cases, it may not work out, but in others, it very well may. So we just don't want them to write it off completely. Other questions? Yes, this is being recorded, and I will be sending this out. Someone in the chat asked. I will send this out. I will send the link to the January session for students as well, and I'm going to make that correction to my slides, and I will send those as well to you all also. So you will have all of that information coming up.
And please feel free to reach out to me anytime if you have questions about a student or their eligibility or anything like that. I'm more than happy to answer questions. This is really a fun part of our job. Kate and I and our colleagues here enjoy it a lot, and we get to see applications from really amazing students from all over the country. I know that we send our students, our Mainer students, to all of you guys, and
Seth, are you pausing because you saw my hand?
Yes, I am.
Someone just asked if there was an advantage to applying early. I mean, in my opinion, no. other than peace of mind. And if something goes wrong, you can reach out and maybe we can fix something. But other than that, no, as long as you get it in by the deadline.
Selections are made in one big, long meeting for all of the internships, all on the same day. So.
Great. It is 3:30. We're right on time. Thank you all so much for joining. If you have questions, you can reach out to me, Seth, Kate. Even if you accidentally email anyone else at the Hanley Center, there's only 4 of us, so you'll get to the right spot soon. Thank you all so much. It was so nice to see you all.
Thank you for joining.